Autorotation, a helicopter pilot's lifeline. Helicopters are incredible machines, capable of performing feats that seem to defy the laws of physics. They can fly in ways that airplanes can only dream of, maneuvering through tight spaces and hovering in place. But this freedom of movement comes with a challenge, especially when flying in difficult conditions. Helicopter engines work very hard to keep those big rotors spinning, ensuring the aircraft stays aloft. If the engine fails, the pilot needs a backup plan. And that plan is called autorotation, a critical emergency procedure. Autorotation is a state of flight where the helicopter's main rotor system is no longer being powered by the engine, but by the air. Instead, the rotor blades are kept spinning by the upward flow of air through the rotor system, maintaining lift. Think of it like a sycamore seed twirling its way down from a tree, using the air to slow its descent. The seed's shape uses the air to keep it spinning as it falls, much like the helicopter's rotor blades. This controlled descent allows the pilot to maintain control of the helicopter and make a safe landing, even without engine power. Autorotation is a critical safety maneuver that every helicopter pilot must be proficient in. It is a skill all helicopter pilots must master through rigorous training and practice. It can be the difference between a safe landing and a catastrophic event in case of an engine failure, making it an essential part of a pilot's training. The dance of air, powered flight versus autorotation. In normal powered flight, the engine drives the rotor blades. The downward flow of air creates lift, which is what keeps the helicopter in the air. The air is forced downward, creating an area of high pressure above the rotor disc and low pressure below it. This pressure difference generates the lift that supports the helicopter's weight. During autorotation, the airflow is reversed. The air flows upward through the rotor system from the bottom to the top. This upward flow of air is what keeps the rotor blades spinning, much like a windmill. The blades are still angled to produce lift, but the angle is adjusted to maintain rotor RPM and allow for a controlled descent. The freewheeling unit, the unsung hero of autorotation. The freewheeling unit is a critical component that makes autorotation possible. Located in the transmission system between the engine and the main rotor, it acts as a clutch. In normal flight, it transmits power from the engine to the rotor. However, if the engine fails, the freewheeling unit automatically disengages. This allows the rotor system to spin freely without resistance from the engine. Think of the freewheeling unit as a bicycle coaster brake. When you pedal forward, the brake engages, transferring power to the wheel. When you stop pedaling, the coaster brake allows the wheel to spin freely. The freewheeling unit in a helicopter serves a similar purpose, allowing the rotor to spin freely during autorotation. Without the freewheeling unit, the engine would act as a large anchor, causing the rotor to slow down rapidly and lose lift. This would result in a dangerous and uncontrollable descent. Section 4. The rotor disc in autorotation, a symphony of forces. During autorotation, the helicopter's rotor disc can be divided into three distinct regions: the driven region, the driving region, and the stall region. Each of these regions has unique characteristics and plays a vital role in the overall performance of the helicopter during autorotation. Each region plays a crucial role in maintaining lift and controlling the helicopter's descent. Understanding these regions is essential for pilots to manage autorotation effectively. The driven region is located at the inner part of the rotor disc. This area is closest to the rotor hub and experiences the least amount of airflow disruption. In this region, the airflow is still relatively horizontal, similar to normal powered flight. The blades here are still generating some lift, although it is not sufficient to keep the helicopter aloft on its own. The blades are still generating some lift, but not enough to counteract the force of gravity. This partial lift helps to slow the descent of the helicopter. The driving region, the largest of the three, is where most of the magic happens during autorotation. This region is crucial for maintaining the rotor speed necessary for a controlled descent. This region is located in the outer portion of the rotor disc. The blades in this area are responsible for driving the rotor system. Here, the airflow is predominantly upward, passing through the rotor blades at a steep angle. This upward flow is essential for maintaining the autorotation process. This upward flow of air is what keeps the rotor blades spinning. Without it, the rotor system would lose speed and the helicopter would descend uncontrollably. The stall region, as its name suggests, is where the airflow over the rotor blades becomes turbulent and separated. This turbulence can affect the stability of the rotor system. This occurs at the very tip of the rotor blades. The tips experience the highest speeds and the most significant aerodynamic forces. The stall region does not contribute to lift and can create vibrations. These vibrations can be felt throughout the helicopter and must be managed by the pilot to ensure a safe descent. Section 5. Understanding rotor regions, driven, driving, and stall. Each region of the rotor disc behaves differently during autorotation. Understanding these differences is key to understanding how pilots maintain control. The driven region is where the rotor blades are still driven by the inertia of the rotor system. However, the lift generated in this region is minimal. The driving region is where the rotor blades are driven by the upward flow of air. This is the region that provides the majority of the energy required to keep the rotor spinning and generate lift during autorotation. Finally, the stall region is an area of disrupted airflow and reduced lift. While undesirable, a small stall region is unavoidable during autorotation. Pilots are trained to manage this region and prevent it from expanding. Section 6. The Art of Autorotation, a Balancing Act. Pilots learn to control the helicopter during autorotation by carefully managing the forces acting on the rotor disc. By adjusting the pitch of the rotor blades, the angle at which they meet the air, using the collective control, pilots can control the size and shape of the driving region. Increasing the collective pitch steepens the angle of the rotor blades, expanding the driving region, and increasing rotor RPM. Decreasing collective pitch has the opposite effect, reducing the driving region and rotor RPM. In addition to collective control, pilots use cyclic control, tilting the rotor disc, to maneuver the helicopter and control the direction of descent. By carefully coordinating these controls, pilots can safely maneuver the helicopter to a suitable landing area. Section 7. Autorotation landing, a controlled descent to safety. A successful autorotation landing involves a series of carefully timed maneuvers, each critical to ensuring the safety of the aircraft and its occupants. The pilot's primary goal is to maintain rotor RPM within a narrow range, ensuring sufficient energy for a safe touchdown. This requires constant vigilance and precise control. First, entry. As soon as an engine failure occurs, the pilot lowers the collective pitch, allowing the helicopter to descend and the rotor to be driven by the upward flow of air. This initial response is crucial for setting up a successful autorotation. Second, control. During the descent, the pilot maintains control of the helicopter's direction and rate of descent using cyclic and collective controls, constantly monitoring rotor RPM. This phase demands a high level of skill and attention to detail. Third, flare. As the helicopter approaches the ground, the pilot initiates a flare maneuver, raising the collective pitch to slow the descent rate and cushion the landing. This maneuver is critical for reducing the speed of descent just before touchdown. This maneuver converts some of the rotor's rotational energy into lift, reducing the impact. The flare is a delicate balance of timing and control. Finally, touchdown. The helicopter touches down gently on the skids or wheels, with the pilot maintaining control until the rotor blades come to a stop. This final phase ensures the safety of everyone on board. Autorotation is a testament to the ingenuity of helicopter design and the skill of trained pilots. It showcases the remarkable engineering that allows helicopters to land safely even in the event of an engine failure. By understanding and mastering this critical maneuver, pilots can safely manage one of the most challenging situations in helicopter flight. This knowledge is essential for ensuring the highest standards of flight safety.